Welcome back. We're going to start out here in this video looking at slope intercept form, again, which is y equals x plus b. M is going to be our slope. B is going to be our y-intercept. Okay, so it says put this equation in slope intercept form, which simply means solve it for y. So we're going to start off by moving our x by subtracting 2x from both sides and getting that 3y equals negative 2x plus 5. So we're going to divide both sides of the equation by 3. And when we get this, we get y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5/3. So the slope of this line is going to be negative 2/3. And the y-intercept of this line is going to be 5/3. Moving on, it says graph the equation 2x minus 5y equals 8. I think probably the best way to do this is solve this for y, put it in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. So negative 5y equals negative 2x plus 8. Divide both sides of the equation by negative 5 to get y by itself. So y equals 2/5 x minus 8/5. So we're going to start out by looking at 8/5 as a decimal, which is somewhere between 1 and 2, a little bit beyond 1, a little bit more than a half. So we're going to go just a little bit past a half, somewhere between 1 and 2. Oops, except it's negative 8/5, Mr. Miller. So we're going to go down and put a dot. Now my slope is 2/5. So from here, I'm going to go up 2 spots, and I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get our second point. And now I'm going to use a straight edge to connect these 2 points, draw a line through them, and I get that equation there, or I get that line there. Okay. Again, I talked about this before but you might want to circle this or star this, right? Parallel lines have the same exact slope. So it says find the equation of the line that goes through the points 5, negative 7, that is parallel to the line 6x plus 3y equals 4. So the first thing we have to do is figure out what is our slope in this equation. And to do that, we want to turn it into y equals. So I start by subtracting 6x from both sides. So negative 6x plus 4. And now I'm going to divide by 3 and get that y equals negative 2x plus 4/3. So the slope here is negative 2. And since the line that we are creating in y equals mx plus b form is parallel to this line, its slope is going to also be negative 2. So we're going to start with y equals negative 2x plus b. Now that I've got the slope from that equation, I'm done with it. I don't need it for anything else. I just needed the slope. Now I'm going to plug in those points. Negative 7 equals negative 2 times 5 plus b. So negative 7 equals negative 10 plus b. I add 10 to both sides and get that b equals 3. So my equation is y equals negative 2x plus 3. We're going to look at lines that are perpendicular. Again, what does it mean for lines to be perpendicular? It means that they are going to intersect at a right angle. So their slopes are going to be opposite reciprocals of each other. What the opposite reciprocals means, if one line has a slope of 2/3, the line that's perpendicular to that is going to have the opposite reciprocal, which is going to be negative 3/2. So we're going to start the exact same way. Figure out what the slope of this line is by solving it for y. So negative 6x plus 4, divide by 3, so y equals negative 2x plus 4/3. So my slope here is negative 2. So the slope of the line that I'm creating, since it's going to be perpendicular to it, is going to be the opposite reciprocal of this. So we're going to flip this fraction and make it positive. So it's going to be 1/2 x plus b. Plug in the point that they give us, 7 equals 1 over 2, sorry, negative 7 equals 1 over 2 times 5 plus b. So negative 7 equals 5/2 plus b. Subtract 5/2 from both sides. And when I do that, so this will be 14 halves, negative 14 halves minus 5 halves is going to give us negative 19 halves. So the equation of the line perpendicular is y equals 1 half x minus 19 over 2. Again, the hardest part here is to figure out what our slope was and realize that the slope of the line that we are creating is going to be the opposite reciprocal. So at this point, you can stop the video, go back and watch it if you need to. Please take note of these last two examples of parallel and perpendicular, and then you can move on to the last video for this lesson.